Here we go. It's time for another sprint zone, and this one's for 6-6, and it's the prospect sprint zone as normal. Heading up County Road 5, everyone is exceptionally ordered here. I love this. I think cracking the whip and making speeches seems to have ensured that people are riding the proper 2x2 and not overlapping too much, which is a beautiful thing. Coming into the beginning of the sprint zone, people are starting to jockey for position, and of course controlling the lane here because a lot of times cars try to sneak by here, and it's really not appreciated. I'm not certain where they're going, but it's not going to save them any time. Anyway, there's the famous turn, and we look back, we see Jamie and Rob there. Looks like Carrie back there and a couple cars who are patiently waiting as I make my way through the masses, the wheel suckers, those who will not be contributing, and those who will be gapping me off, which is most annoying. No disrespect, just telling it how it is. Moving up towards the front, and things are nicely ordered. Got Greg in front of me, and looks like the First City kid. Got Marcelo there and the big dog, Byron. And I'd like to thank Byron also for his rear footage as usual. Time to get the party started because we were doing like not very much, 16 miles an hour or whatever. And like, come on, guys. Like, there's a lot of people that just want to like suck wheel all the way to the end, and they are very happy to have the pace as pedestrian as possible. Here comes Kerry, and he gives me the signal that it's time to go and get the party indeed in earnest started. Also like to thank Curtis Jensen for supplying his power numbers for the very first time, as you'll be able to see what he's putting out compared to me. And I've included both of our instantaneous powers or 3-second powers and 30-second power, so you can see what the differences are right now. Up front, interesting that I'm actually putting out more wattage than Curtis. Maybe I'm more aerodynamic, or maybe his power meter needs to be calibrated, but he's putting out some serious wattage. He must be back there doing some work. Up front, Carrie's doing some work, Kent is attentive, and the rest of the posse just seems to be lethargic. I believe that once again, people are relying on the supers to do the work, and once Byron is there, they know they can rely on a smooth wheel to pull them up and catch those who would be on the attack. And here we go. It looks like the first move of the day. Justin on his gravel bike comes to the front. Definitely looking for a little more work, taking the cue from Byron. So we have several people on the gravel bikes, and Justin's attack starts to string things out nicely. Kent Winters attentively on my wheel. Very good choice to stay up front. Looks like Ben Miller coming up on the outside and Scott in the mix as we start to bunch up a little bit. I take over from Kerry, thank you very much, and I am on the hunt for the leaders, and that would be Justin up there. And there's a sign from Jared, first time attending E from a long time. And there goes Don, and it's the First City teams 1, 2, and 3. Is this a coordinated attack? I don't know, but very dangerous nevertheless. Justin unfortunately is on his gravel bike and can't attend, and so I catch him and we just sit in. Now, this would be beautiful team tactics. And if I were Justin at this point, I would have just kind of pretended to like do something and let his teammates get up the road a little bit, slow everybody down, a little bit of blocking. As but so far on the TFR sprint zones, we have seen absolutely zero team tactics. And I'm not going to disparage anybody in their team kits, but pretty much with the exception of TTH riders, people just wear kits of the same color and they're not really coordinated. I don't know how they race, but I suspect it's the same, at least in the Cat 4 and below, maybe even Cat 3. Up front, I'm still doing a lot of work. Justin in the middle of the road, and he's not making any effort to catch his teammates. And I am not going to pull these fools all the way up there. Not that I could. Well, maybe I could, but I'd totally be toasting myself. Keeping good tempo up there. We're doing what, 25 miles an hour, and we're not slow here. And now it looks like things are about to get underway again as those that would be chasers see the danger in that move up the road. Ben Miller looking strong, and look how nicely his kit fits. That is tight. That is super aero. I haven't made a lot of comments about a lot of people with their kits lately, but that is one that fits very nicely. And there we just saw the camera cut over, and we lost a little bit, but it was A lot of people coming around me, and there goes JC looking strong out there. Up first, look at Curtis and his numbers on the screen at the same time, looking good. We see newcomer Tim looking strong there. And looking at Byron's camera, Scott is attentively on his wheel, and Kent sticking to my wheel like glue. Perhaps it is a testament to how smooth I am, and he knows he doesn't want to be jerked around. Looking rearward, and folks, there's no traffic behind us. And I think for those who want to count the cars on this one, I don't even think two cars past us, maybe three. I don't know, but this is a pretty safe area, and even though we're taking up lots of the road, it doesn't matter. So a lot of these folks that have your panties in a bunch, like chill a little bit, and those who have your panties in a bunch and don't want to watch this video or come out, please stay home on your porch with your dogs. Anyway, I digress a little bit. As this organization, as we try to bring back the front members, it looks like JC has caught the leaders, Don and Jared. And after talking with him, he was hoping that they would contribute after he got there, but they had given up the ghost, gone a little too hard, a little too early, and were unable to work with JC in the breakaway. Looking rearward, Kent looking strong. Jamie, who hasn't been around in a while, looking extremely comfortable, and it is hard to believe that she is not a racer, at least not bike anyhow, although she has quite the accomplishments in the run and plenty of hardware to show for it. Anyway, everybody looking extremely organized here. Cadence high, and the speed is reasonable. I'm throwing out some decent watts, but not crazy as I'm sitting in there. Curtis throwing out a ton more wattage than I am. Is he just not as aerodynamic? Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I would like to see the calibration on his unit. It's just amazing that he's putting out 200 watts and I'm putting out 100 watts at this point. Anyway, up front, looks like we have brought everybody back. Grupo Compacto. Oh, not quite. There are still some stray dogs out front. And it looks like Ben Miller is helping us drag up there. Oh, and look on the screen, and you really can't see, but there's Tim. And it looks like Byron's footage covers it, but his jersey is just flapping in the wind. That's just wattage just being blown off. So take a look at everybody who else has the tight-fitting kits. This is wattage saved. This is energy saved. And if you're looking to compete, especially if you're going to be out in the wind like you are there, Tim, a smarter fitting kit would be good. Oh, and let's check for the yellow line violations. Right on the hairy edge for the first city team people, as everybody groups up, as the recalcitrants have been brought back. Here's this little grade here. Well, I know everybody starts to attack because they know it's an opportunity. Oh, it looks like we have another gravel bike. Looks like Ilka's still in the mix, which is surprising. I did not think that she would be involved in this, given the apparent sketchiness of the group, or at least it's been reported by some. The safety is number one, and that's all I'll say on that one. Anyway, up front, big group pushing lots of wind, and it's pretty easy to sit in. I thought about including my heart rate on this one and Curtis's heart rate, but I just didn't want to fill the screen with clutter. But I'm wondering like what we were doing at this point in the juncture. I know that for myself, it is hard to recover after going out front, even though not throwing out a lot of watts, and backing it down to probably something that would be zone 3, zone 4. It is difficult to recover and have that reserve that some of the wheel suckers have that are able to initiate strong sprints at the end. Because if you look at my wattage sitting in, average 30-second, 80 watts, current, 200, whatever, good wattage, but really not enough to recover. Good cadence by everybody. And there's Andy Lockwood, who's not seen the sharp end of the stick, an excellent wheel sucker, an opportunist who's very good at the end. And there's not a dig. Everyone has their own agenda in the sprint zone, and some people want to see their noses at the end. But others folks don't want to see that, and they just want to wait and try to attack as they see fit, resting as much as possible as in a race. So there's JC in front of me again. I extended the courtesy of allowing him to get back in. I was a little worried for a second that he was not going to be able to pull these guys back, and I was going to go around and give him a little bit of help, but he's the big man who can always be relied upon. And here we go. Up at the front, the earnest sprint begins, and look, you can see big wattage, 400 watts by Curtis. And I go by at a mere 100, 200 and something. Looks like JC's a little tired. Looks like Justin there. Here comes, it looks like is that Andy Lockwood on the outside being very careful not to violate the rules of engagement. Justin with a lot of strength on the gravel bike. Don resting after well done. Mr. Lockwood coming by in the end. It looks like Danny Evans on that new bike. And I give it up before cresting the top, and it looks like here comes Jamie, and it looks like her better half, Tom. Very well done, everyone. And that was a huge, huge, huge group that made it pretty much to the final selection. Well done, and it is a testament to everybody getting stronger in the group. I liked it. And if you notice, like, not very many cars passed us on this one, which is why we had chosen this particular road for the sprint zone, because it allows people to stretch their legs and not worry about being a hazard. Now, I'm going to digress a little bit and talk about people that think cars are king. Cars do not own the road. We have been indoctrinated to the fact that these cars are the number one thing on the road, and if we happen to hold them up for 10, 15 seconds, this is an egregious act. Like, there are not that many bicycle groups out in the day. PTH and us. We're out for an hour, a few cars pass us. Throughout this 24-hour period, that's 15 seconds, maybe even, let's go say 30 seconds that a car or two is held up, in the great scheme of things, is negligible. So I want to speak to all those people out there that think that bicycles are such a great nuisance. You guys need to get a clue as to what's really important. And really, in the end, the sun is going to blow up in a billion years and encompass the earth. So at this point, it really doesn't matter that you held up some car for 15 seconds. Anyway, a good job, everyone. Peace out. Until next time.